Hi, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Level Playing Field podcast. March Madness is in full swing. The NCAA wrestling tournament wrapped up, and my God, was it something special? And then as well, we have another coach sticking his neck out, saying, you know what's going on in college sports is wrong. The paying the kids, and people are getting taken advantage of, and we need to right the ship. And he wants to be a part of it. So, getting us started here, Dennis, tell us about the wrestling.
Oh man, listen, my God is an awesome God. You know, what a great song. Every one of us, man, we got to give God thanks and praise every day, especially this time of the day, this time of the year. And this time of the day. But anyway, what an awesome performance by Penn State. Man, they set another record. How many records can those guys set, Andrew? I mean, the most points ever scored by a wrestling team in the whole sports history. 100 plus years. It's it's just so awesome, man. And Jacob wrestled an angel, Jesus wrestled Satan and conquered him. Man, those Penn State guys, you see them testifying to the glory of God and what, when, and how, everything, every reason. And Mitchell Nessenbaum, let me tell you something. He is going to be the Hodge Trophy winner. He's got to be. What he professes and what he does on the mat is just awesome. It's just an awesome goings on up there. And, they've done it. They've done it the old fashioned way, right? No NIL, right? No wrongful recruiting, pulling kids out of high schools or any of that type of stuff. They got it going on up there, and they're Christ-centered, and they're having so much success, God bless them. And all we can do is just keep cheering for them and cheering for them. I told my pit buddies, and I don't want you guys to be mad at me. I said, look, if you can't beat them, you got to join them. You got that old saying. You know what I'm saying to you? Pitt didn't do much. They had one guy possibly come close to qualifying. Lehigh had an All-American, placed third. Penn had some. Drexel and Bucknell had an All-American. So Pennsylvania, Lock Haven was right there in the. It was so awesome to see all these great wrestling schools. In Pennsylvania, just getting in 51 national qualifiers. I think that's a record too. On a whole.
Incredible.
On a whole,
it more than doubled any other state. Pennsylvania more than doubled. I think California or Ohio maybe had 23, 28 in there, but 51. That's incredible. But out of 330 qualifiers, that's incredible.
But there's one that should have still been in high school. Yes. Forrest. Jack Forrest, he should have been in high school yet. I don't like the fact that they pulled him out. He wasn't. He didn't even finish his career in high school. We have millions of Pennsylvania wrestling fans. It's the greatest. Man, it's an awesome sport in the state of Pennsylvania. Fans are awesome. The coaches are awesome. The kids are awesome. We got these young ladies wrestling now. These girls wrestling. Man, the state's on fire for wrestling, and we need to keep the high school kids in high school. For Taylor to come in and just yank this kid out away from his family, ship him 1,000 miles away, right? 1,000 miles away, Andrew. And it broke my heart to see the kid. His little brother had a little dinosaur toy when he was interviewing him, and it's like his whole family. You could see he missed them all. So how much is it worth? How much really is it worth to pull that kid out of high school, ship him all the way over? Take your time with these kids now. And I don't believe it's working. In that instance, it's crazy. It was such an unbelievable feat that he went into that weight class, and there was 4 freshman finalists at 133. 4 freshman finalists, 3 of them were from Pennsylvania. Crazy stuff. Awesome stuff. Mm-hmm. And the returning national champ from Illinois, Andrew, the returning national champ didn't even place. Lucas Bird from Illinois didn't even place, wasn't even an All-American in that weight class. So and the Lehigh 133 pounder was a runner-up national champ 2 years ago, and he was ranked like number 1 at some point in the season. He got injured. So what a weight class, And maybe these kids can pull it off in those lighter weights, coming in as freshmen and having a lot of success. It's very rare in any other weight class. But David Taylor is wrong for what he did. Okay. He's trying to throw some money around. You saw the family. they're not a wealthy family, man. They're from mid-state, just a bunch of country boys. And he came in there, put a bunch of money on the table. They took it, ships him out to Oklahoma State, and that is a total. He stole the kid from the Pennsylvania wrestling fans that wanted to watch him wrestle in high school. There's a stud wrestler that just wrestled in high school. He took his time. He didn't go, and they need to leave the kids alone. Okay, David Taylor's wrong for what he did. Penn State built him. Penn State made him. Kel Sanderson made him. It shows you like he's a little bit of a snake now. I used to like the guy. I don't like him anymore. He really got on my nerves when I see what he did there. And he's doing it right on Penn State's turf. The guys that made him, he's coming into our state and taking a kid from our state that should have had a better chance on going to Penn State. But his big goal is to try to replicate, to match Kel Sanderson. But he's not doing it the way Kel Sanderson did it, Andrew. Kel Sanderson did it a little at a time, the traditional way, took his time, incorporated Christ into the formula, and worked hard. And by the way, Jack Forrest is a beautiful young Christian, and man, he's just awesome, professing Christ, just a great kid. We would love to have him stay in our state. But talking about that is spring football around, right? And we have all these kids, Andrew. You got some information to talk about these high school kids jumping in and going in for spring football. So rather than graduating and taking their time and going up and enjoying their families, and that's the other thing that I'm against. These kids, man, we have the greatest athletics in the world. Okay, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let these high school athletes finish out their high school careers with their families, their friends. You understand? Their brothers, their sisters, and let them all have a blast. And then get them in the fall. Bring them in the fall. If they want to come up and wrestle early in like summertime, man, when in Pennsylvania it's 100 degrees. If they want to come up and roll around and start early and hit some of these summer tournaments, same thing with the football. If the guys want to come up and start working out in the summer, I can see that. You understand, Andrew? But don't yank them out of the schools, bring them in, because you know it ain't working. It ain't working. They're bringing all these kids in, and with this National Chaotic Athletic Association, these coaches are getting fired left and right. So these kids are coming in. Let's talk about that. Why don't you take that point to the table?
Hey guys, do me a favor real quick. Look down. Are you subscribed to the channel? If you are, thank you so much. If you're not, please click subscribe. It helps us so much keep bringing you the conversations that no one else is having. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah, so I did some homework on that one. So the early enrollees, it's been happening since back when I was in high school and before that. So it started in like the early 2000s, and back then it was really like 1 to 3%. We're talking about D1 here. Like if you're competing at the highest level, and we're saying like 1 to 3% of these kids were graduating early from high school and going off. And to do that, you are the 5-star kid. You're the kid who's going to get fast tracked. You're not going to redshirt. You're going right into, playing your freshman year, and you're out in 3 years. You're going to the NFL. You're on that trajectory. So with that, you're like, all right, I can almost like kind of understand it. A lot of high schools, in order to do that, they do block scheduling. So the kids are finishing their high school, their high school curriculum in order to go to college, because you have to qualify to be enrolled in college. So that was back in 2005. I got that statistic. So 2005, it's like 1 to 3% of kids like doing this early enrolling.
And just so the audience understands, Andrew, just so the audience understands, these are kids that are graduating in December, just like yes. Jack Forrest did. But Jack Forrest didn't finish they finished their football season, right? These kids finished their football seasons, and then what they're doing is they're going right in December and enrolling in January into these universities. Jack Forrest, he wasn't finished wrestling.
That's the interesting dynamic there, because wrestling goes into the spring semester, so it's like you're pulling them right off the team. So the idea with football is that you can, get into winter workouts, you'll be there for spring practice, and again, like as a really high-ranked freshman who's going to contribute to the team, you can kind of like, you can understand that level of it, right? But fast forward now 20 years later to 2025. Now it's shifted from 1 to 3% to 25 to 35%. And then at top programs, it's up to 40 to 50%. So if you're competing at these top 10, top 5 level programs like an Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Florida, Alabama, you don't even have a choice. Like if you want to be taken seriously, you have to go as an early enrollee freshman.
Just so you folks all understand, each university gives, I believe, 25 or 30 scholarships. It varies depending upon who transferred out.
It depends on their eligibility.
Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But the thing is of those guys coming in now too, they're not all freshmen with the stupid portal that they got. But anyway, they bring these freshmen in. We're talking about the freshmen, and I mean, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to go up there and they're going to basically do nothing. They're going to learn a system. What Andrew's talking about, and how many of them are going to break in and start? I mean, it's like very, very small amounts that are doing that.
Well, Dennis, I think you should talk to your experience, right? Because coming out of high school for you, you're extremely high ranked, everything, best linebacker in Pennsylvania, all of that. You said yourself that you get up to Pitt at that time. Obviously, Pitt was, Dan Marino's on the team. You're like number 1, 2, 3 in the country perpetually. You walk into that room at 17 years old and you're like, whoa. Listen, these are like dudes.
I was a linebacker. I'm dropping for coverage, and Dan Marino threw a curveball with a football. I thought I had an interception. You never forget it. I'm dropping. I was second. I was like second, alternating for second team. The guys that were playing were all 5-year seniors, and it was crazy. But anyway, I did get some playing time. But I came in there. Couldn't hang with those guys. In all honesty, they put me on the special teams. I was the wedge breaker. I ran right down the field, and I would dive into all the guys on the kickoff team. That was my big thing. But anyway, when I played, it was night and day. So for these guys to come in and think, especially the linemen and the linebackers. And the fullbacks, maybe the running backs and the receivers might have a small chance because it's not as complicated. And if the opportunity affords them right, they might get some playing time and might be able to impact. But the quarterback, forget about it. You understand?
It's always the further away from the ball you are, the further away from the ball that you line up, the easier it is to start as a freshman. So if you're out on the outside receiver, if you got speed, you can't teach speed. If you got it and you can run by people, they're going to put you on the field. But when you start getting in closer, linebackers, linemen, there's a level of physical development and maturity that you just don't have at 18 years old. And that's kind of your point to like wrestling. But at 133, it's so much easier coming in than versus a heavheavyweight.
It's crazy. It's crazy that young fella did that. It is really crazy, and he's awesome. Man, I'm so proud of that kid being a Pennsylvania boy. And he's professing the Lord. He's an awesome kid, and I look forward to him doing super, super things. But he should be doing it at a Pennsylvania school. You understand? Pennsylvania should have a chance to compete for him. And I don't like Taylor's tactics. He owes Pennsylvania who he is, right? Pennsylvania made him. How dare he comes in here and pulls that type of stunt? And he's going to keep trying to pull those stunts, throwing a bunch of money at the kids. He's not looking to do it the old-fashioned way. And I'm really bothered by him now, Andrew. You understand?
And we know.
I thought the guy was a class guy. You understand?
All right, guys, quick time out here to talk about our friends at RC Graphics. If you've ever coached or run a team or you own a business, you already know this. Look good, feel good, play good. How you look matters. Jerseys, banners, signs, merch. If it looks rushed or cheap, people notice. And that's where our friends at RC Graphics come in. They're a family-run company dating back to 1991, and when you work with them, you're not getting bounced around or dealing with any online forms. You're going to talk to our guy, John, who's going to make sure that your order is perfect every time. They handle commercial offset printing, digital printing, signage, promotional products, custom apparel. Look at this hat. This is so high quality. This is amazing. Whatever you need, all the stuff that helps your organization look professional, they got it covered. The best programs don't cut corners, and RC Graphics doesn't either. They've been doing it the right way for over 30 years, and it shows in the final product. So if you need any printing done, call RC Graphics. They got you covered. All right, let's get back to the show.
And to me,
And we know Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State with their NIL, it's very well documented. A lot of oil money.
oh,
A lot of oil money out
listen,
there. They've got big donors,
listen,
big
listen.
donors.
My son Dennis's roommate, Kyle Dake, it
Mm-hmm.
ruined his party, Taylor's party. Taylor won a national championship at the upper weight, and he's the returning Hodge Trophy winner. For you wrestling fans out there, I know you're gonna get mad at me when I tell you this story. He's the king of Penn State, Hodge Trophy returning national champion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Little Kyle Dake from Little Cornell comes in and beats Taylor, one upper weight class, and knocked Taylor out for the national championship Taylor's senior year. And I'm glad he did it to him, because what I'm seeing from him now, he's a snake. I don't like the guy. Leave the Pennsylvania kids alone. Leave him in the state of Pennsylvania. Go elsewhere, man. And if you're going to recruit them honestly, Andrew. You understand? Don't pull this stunt where you're going to sneak in and throw a bunch of money at a poor family and split a family up. It's sickening. But getting back to the rest of the men doing it, the young men that are doing it, it's a waste of time. And this goes back to the National Chaotic Athletic Association. It's just another reason, Andrew. It's really just another reason for them to be disbanded, for them to be taken over. You just add this. This is a cherry on top for them to let these college coaches come in and do this to these kids. And look, even the major programs that were ranked in the top 10, look what happened to them, right? Penn State, for example, right? LSU, Florida, Clemson, you name the schools. So many great schools, right? That had going on. How many schools lost their head coaches? Well, how many of them?
Oh, it was I don't even remember the number. It was 20 plus. I know that.
So
it was insane. It was insane, the number of firings this year.
So for you parents and you coaches out there listening to us, hear us. Keep your kid at home. Say, no, okay, he's going to come in the fall. You don't know which way's up or which way's down. You don't know what is or isn't going on. Just keep him at home. Let him go up early summer football. Start lifting and running with the guys and getting involved. Their age is way too young. They're not going to compete at that level. It's a joke. I know a couple of kids from the local high school did it, from Parkland High School. They didn't play. They didn't play until their sophomore, junior years, and then while they were playing, the coach got fired in their senior year. So look, man, take the time to build your sons and your daughters' faith in God, faith in Jesus, faith in the Holy Spirit. Let them build that family bond with you, with the parents and their brothers and sisters. Let them build that bond, Andrew, with their teammates, with their coaches. You understand? Don't just rip them out. Put them in a crazy environment that these coaches know they're really not going to have an impact. Do you understand? So,
and I think that's a really good point. And it's a really easy segue here to our next topic, bring it into college basketball right now, being us, in the middle of March Madness. So I was listening to an interview with Tom Izzo, the head coach at Michigan State, he's a legend. And I've always liked him. He's always done it the right way. He's been there for so long. This is his 17th Sweet 16 that he's been to. He's won a national title back in 2000, and he's at just great teams. And to be consistently in the Sweet 16 is such an amazing feat for a coach, and to just do it across all the eras too. So back in the early 2000s, easy to have 4-year starters, kids staying in school all the time. Then he makes it through the one and done, that whole era, and now he's into the NIL, right? So across all these eras, he's just continued success. So in this interview with him, I was listening to it, and he just was really echoing everything that we're kind of saying here. He's like, I'm not happy with the current state of the program, or not with the program, with the NCAA and with the sport. And he goes, the number one thing is that for me, for him at Michigan State, he goes, I try to have a core group. When you have a core group, you're able to instill values. You're able to instill values, then you can bring in a transfer here. You can bring in a freshman here to start. You can have that, but at the end of the day, you have that core established, belief and your practices. So, and then he goes on to say, we make all these rules, all the transfer rules, the NIL rules. We know that the 1.2% of the kids go pro. The NBA is so small. To get to the NBA is so hard. To get to college, while it's still really hard, is attainable. So to get to that level and to get even further, it's just like, why do we keep making these rules for the 1%? And he's like, what really matters? Like, does the money matter? At the end of the day, does the money matter? Does where you transfer matter? What matters is making sure that you go to the right place and not go to the right place for the right reasons. Don't transfer just because, there's more money. You might get on the court, but it's a bad situation. The coach gets fired after a year. Now you're in limbo. Now there's no loyalty to you. Now you're a free agent and you're 19, 20 years old in the middle of your development. And you're kind of floating. You don't know what to do. And he went on to say, he said, he wants to be a part of the problem. He doesn't want to be a part of the problem. He wants to be a part of the solution. And he goes, it really comes down to the fact that the NCAA, the coaches, he called himself out, the NCAA, the coaches, and the administrations are really the ones who allowed this all to happen. You can't blame the 17-year-olds
The fans,
go ahead.
Andrew, the fans are definitely part of it too. We talked about the 250th anniversary of our country. It was born in the state of Pennsylvania. And we got the greatest, largest alumni in the country in State College. Do you understand? And they need to speak out. All of the big alumni, they just gotta speak out. It's sick. They're all busy though. And here's the problem: the fans. Let me take a shot at the fans. 100 million brackets. 100 million brackets were entered in a bracket contest, right? And some little kid out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which I'm against little kids getting involved with those brackets because gambling is such an epidemic. $4 billion they projected that's been gambled on March Madness right now. So everyone's got the wrong hat on here. Do you understand? Everybody needs to go back. Man, it's Lent. Everybody needs to go back and say, hey, let me spend some time at church. Let me spend some time with God. Remember, God is a jealous God. He loves us all, and he's jealous. So take the time rather than fill out all these brackets. 100 million brackets filled out, and some young fella from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is the only guy that's for women's and men's. There was one bracket after this, what do they call it, the Sweet 16, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is it's not just the National Collegiate, the National Chaotic Athletic Association, right? It's us, it's the people, because we're watching it, we're supporting it, we're gambling on it, and the NCAA is making money off of that, and ESPN's making money off it. Man, look, it's Lent. It's Lent right now. Cut it. Stop it, right? Let's get focused on the Lord. Let's get tuned in there and take some of that money, that $4 billion that's being wagered. Take your time that you're doing with the bracket and the dollar bills and $2 bills you're putting on the bracket to try to win a boatload, and give that to somebody at a food bank, man. Take the time to just go, hey, or a homeless person, they're all out regretfully now begging. The weather broke. Go get a $5 gift card to if you're out in Pittsburgh, the Giant Eagle. If you're out east here, you got Weiss's. If you're down in Philadelphia, you got Wegmans, and if you're up in the mountains, you got all those places up in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Go out and help somebody, man. It's Lent, right? Stop gambling. Stop the nonsense with the with all of the other various brackets and the like, man. Watch it and enjoy it. Okay. Athletics is awesome. We got some beautiful girls playing basketball and taking numbers. We got some great studs, some great athletes doing the same, and enjoy it. Don't gamble on it, man, especially right now. And that would be my main encouragement. But I want to give a shout out to the Joe Moore offensive line camp. It's a great camp. Coach Moore was the Notre Dame and legendary coach. He also coached at Temple too. And he has they have the Joe Moore Notre Dame O-line camp.com. Okay. Andrew, it's an awesome camp. The Notre Dame National Championship, the 1988, I believe, National Championship, all those linemen come to the camp. Joe Moore coached those offensive linemen. And there's some legendary Pitt all pro guys that are in the Hall of Fame, NCAA legends, man. Go to the Joe Moore Online Camp. .com. It will be a great experience for your kids. You could call James E. Moore at 412-818-2862. And I want to give a shout out to merhot.com. Okay, merhot.com is interesting. And this is what I want to end the show with, Andrew. Look, man, I raised 8 children, my wife and I. I have godchildren, nephews, nieces, the works. I always gave Easter time. I always stuffed their baskets with something, some sort of book or a cross or something relating to Jesus Christ, our Messiah. And Merhot, MERHAUT.com, 4684 William Flynn Highway, Allison Park, Pennsylvania, man. Feed the kids spirits, right? Don't feed their bellies, man. They get enough sweets, Andrew, right? Mm-hmm. Go to those 2 people, support them. The Joe Moore camp's an awesome camp. It's a legendary camp. We got I would encourage you, any of the your middle school and high school kids you want to bring out, if you want to bring the whole team, bring them out. Call James E. Moore, 412-818-2862. And man, you'll have a blast. It's a lot of fun. And the parents can come and you can talk with these superstar offensive and defensive linemen. And it's just an awesome, awesome camp. It's the first weekend in June this year, 2026, in Allegheny County. But go to the Joe Moore Online Camp.com. And God bless you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, well, so I think that was a great conversation. Topical as always. This time of year, all the playoffs in college and everything. And let's not forget, we got the Frozen Four coming up here. We got lacrosse, in the heat of things. So there's always more to talk about as the spring starts to unfold in high school and college. And
Andrew, make sure you give them all of our information about our websites, right?
Yes, and then so also you guys, please feel free to visit our website, dennisatia.com, and you can check out anything about the podcast there. Also, you can find us online at YouTube and Spotify, and across all social media channels. You can check out Level Playing Field Podcast and see all of our awesome content. And if you miss anything, you can watch the whole episodes on YouTube and Spotify. And and thank you everybody for listening. Wish everyone to have a fantastic Lenten season, and Easter's coming up here. And until next time, have a great day.